listening to the Danger Tapes podcast with your host, Devin Ramos.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Danger Tapes podcast. My name is Devin Ramos, and this is episode 203. Derek was supposed to be on this podcast, but he actually left early. He came up here, and he actually left early because there's fires in Crestline. Right now, as I record this, I could actually hear the helicopters outside, kind of like flying water over there or doing whatever they're doing. It's a big-ass fire. I really underestimated it. I saw the smoke this morning. I thought it was just some fire out in the middle of nowhere, but it was a pretty big fucking fire. Right now, I am super hyped for a trip to Pismo Beach. Next week, I'm going with Karina, Ryan, and Michelle, Ryan's wife, who you'll actually hear on an upcoming podcast. But I haven't been there since I was like 5, I think. I went there... God, I can't even remember what year it was. I remember I went there and I was staying in a motorhome with some friends of my aunt and let's just say godmother Nina. And we were watching Sister Act 2 with Lauryn Hill. I think Lauryn Hill is in that movie. We were watching that movie and we were all kind of cuddled up in a bed. It was very cold. So I'm really looking forward to it. Just kind of a nice little retreat from the heat. I've been really feeling the beach this year, so I think this is going to be a really fun trip. We're camping right on the beach. I got my reservation. I'm taking the Xterra. I was trying to sell it. I think at this point, because everybody's been making me shit offers for it, I'm just going to end up keeping my Xterra. I actually didn't even talk about this on the podcast. I bought a Honda Civic not too long ago, but it's a Civic. It's a really nice Civic. I think it's nice. I really enjoy driving it around, but it's vastly different from my Xterra. My Xterra's paid off. I'll probably end up keeping it. And it's nice because for trips like this, I could actually just go up, take a 4-hour drive, pack some, drinks in a ice chest, a tent, some chairs, really enjoy myself. And I think it would be nice. I think an Xterra, or something like an Xterra, I've always really liked trucks like Xterra, or SUVs, I should say, like Jeeps and whatnot, because they kind of give you this urge to take a trip. And not just any trip, a lot of people take trips to Vegas, a lot of people take trips to San Francisco, as I have several times, the last one being with Derek and Arlie. But I think with a truck like that, it really pushes you to go just a little further, just a little off the grid. You can really pack everything you really need in the back, and I don't know, it really lets you explore the way, the America was intended to be explored, with the highway system and everything. Just, you really feel it. And I think now that I'm going back to Pismo Beach, it's kind of cool because, again, I haven't been there in 20 some odd years, and there's been a lot of places that I went as a kid that I would really like to go back to and revisit as an adult. Now that I'm going on 28 years old, I think it would be good for me to see these places as an adult and try to remember them and try to remember the significance that they held for me when I was a child. And, I'd really like to go back to the Grand Canyon. I'd really like to go back to Pismo Beach, as I'm doing next week. But I really feel like I should go back to these places. And I have been trying to go back to the Grand Canyon for a long time. It's been years since I've been in Arizona, and it's been decades since I've been to the Grand Canyon. So I think that now that I'm getting older, now that I'm finding myself having more time and trying to find a career that aligns with my urge to actually go out and explore and not be such a worker bee, I think that me finding something like that and me going out and exploring these places is going to actually produce some happiness in my life. So that's really cool. So I'm going to do a podcast probably after I get back from Pismo Beach. I'll tell you guys all about it. I'm really excited for this trip. This is going to be really cool. It was kind of unexpected. Up until like maybe 4 weeks ago. So it's something I've been looking forward to for the last few weeks. Just a nice break for the summer. This summer has probably been the best summer I've had in years. Last summer was pretty good. I went to Seattle with my parents. I had a good time there, but it was just way too hot. And I feel like this summer is probably hotter, but because of everything I've been doing, because of being able to explore and have fun in a new relationship, I think that I'm really enjoying myself and I'm really having fun. So I think this trip is much needed. It's going to be a nice little break from the heat. Hopefully my body doesn't act all weird and get sick from the temperature change. I'll be really pissed off if that happens. So I'm going to take my vitamins. I'm going to bundle up accordingly. And hopefully the next podcast that you guys hear, episode 204, I won't be sick. So other than that, this week I've been actually focusing on hitting the gym a lot. And just from some weight management, I've been eating a lot more bread. I don't know why. I've just been craving bread lately. And I've noticed that craving and I've noticed that urge to feed into that bread addiction. So I'm trying to cut that out. But I think it's sort of starting to bleed out into the people around me. Everybody else seems to be craving bread now. And it's really fucking with me. And I think that because bread just ends up turning into sugar, which, refined sugar is a drug unto its own. I think that it's much like other drugs, be that weed, cocaine, heroin, any other drug. Sugar is like that. So when you're actually eating a lot of bread or eating a lot of sugar, a lot of other people are actually eating a lot of sugar and eating a lot of bread too. So they'll be bringing bread around you, asking you if you want sandwiches, asking you if you want croissants, asking you if you want pan dulce in the morning, and you're just like, okay, yeah, why not? Like, it's bread, it's nothing bad, there's nothing wrong with it. And when you eat it, everybody else is eating it, and they get that craving, and that craving feeds into your craving, and so forth. And it comes around full circle until you're just finally eating bread all week. And much like myself, I feel the effects on my body. I'm not a weight freak. I do like to maintain a certain weight though. Not that I have any sort of body image issues, but I think that it's important for me to maintain a certain weight at my age because I don't want it to get out of hand. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be, I'm 28 now, I don't want to be 56 and have my weight go up to I'm like 200 on a good day. I don't want to be like 271 when I'm 56. So, I don't want to be one hot dog away from a heart attack. So yeah, I did hit the gym a lot this week. Today would be my 4th day at the gym. I'm really proud of myself for doing so. And I think that's good. I don't think there's anything wrong with being proud of yourself for going to the gym. Again, I think that my main reason for going to the gym actually is I've been working different shifts at work. And I'm feeling the effects on my body in 2 ways. In sleep and in health. And they all kind of tie together, but the sleep one I just kind of ignore because I'm okay with sleep deprivation for enough time, but I do feel like it's probably going to end up contributing to my weight gain. But I could deal with that. I could fix that. That's fixable. Going to the gym is sort of a habit, and exercising is sort of a habit that one needs to keep in order to be able to do anything, in order to sleep well, anything. So because I've been working different shifts, I'm used to actually working later shifts, which I've been doing for like the last 8 years. I've actually switched to working earlier shifts, and I never really thought that it would fuck with my body as it did in the last month, but it does, because when I come back from work, I've actually been able to train my body pretty well in performing well enough at work with very little sleep, much like a good slave would. But when I come back from work, I am just like, I'm tired, and I know that if I go to sleep, I'm going to wake up feeling completely shitty. And I'm right. Because when I go to sleep and I take that 2-hour nap after work, I just wake up feeling so sluggish. Way too sluggish. And it's been hard for me this last month to like actually motivate myself to go to the gym after work. Because like I said, prior to that, for 8 years, it took me enough time to like finally train myself to go to the gym before work and not feel like shit while I'm at work. It got to the point where I didn't even need to go to sleep after the gym before I went to work. So now it's like the complete opposite. I go to work, come back, I'm tired, I go to sleep, and I feel sluggish when I wake up. So now I'm trying to train my body to not feel the effects of the sluggishness and actually go to the gym. And I think it's been okay. This week was a really good week. Again, I was able to go 4 times out of the week, which is much better than what I was going, which was 3 times out of the week. And I'm going to continue on with that. But I hate that feeling. I hate the feeling of waking up and feeling like there's syrup pumping through my veins. I hate it. And not just any syrup, not like Mrs. Butterworth's light syrup. I'm talking about like corn syrup. Do you know what corn syrup is? Corn syrup is the byproduct of the corn industry producing high fructose corn syrup. It's in everything. It's in everything but water as of now. If you're drinking a soda, it's in soda. If you're eating a cookie, it's in a cookie. If you're eating probably most foods you wouldn't even expect sugar to be in, it's probably in that. And I feel like that's just pumping through my veins like all day if I go to sleep and just wake up. It's just pumping through my veins. And I'm so tired. I'm much more tired than I probably am. And I hate it. And by me going to the gym, I've actually been able to combat it. And I've actually felt much, much better by going to the gym. It's really weird because right now, like I said, I went to the gym earlier today. I feel really good. I feel really energized and pumped. And just hyped for that fucking trip next week. But yeah, I think other than that, I think I'm trying to get better at cooking. Because prior to me actually learning how to make, I think the one dish that I know how to make really well, my mouth is really dry today. Okay. I'm going to try not to talk so fast. Maybe I should chew some gum. But prior to me, I learned how to make jambalaya a couple years ago. And I've been trying to get better. I'll put some gum in my mouth. I'll try not to chew into the mic. But a few years ago, I learned how to make jambalaya. I don't know why. I wasn't born in Louisiana. I'm Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican. But I just wanted to try jambalaya, so I just made it based off of this recipe I found in Esquire magazine. And over time, a lot of people really liked it when I first made it. And over time, I just sort of wanted to get better at making it. And you kind of can hit a plateau, but at the same time, you could always just increase the level at which you're making it, even if it's just by like a millimeter. And that's with anything. Pasta, tacos, in my case lately, hamburgers. Because I feel like in order to make a really good hamburger, you have to have this sort of, or anything again, you have to have this sort of need to want to get better at it. And it's not so much just like, oh, okay, like today I'm going to try grilling it just a little less. Today I'll try a medium rare. It's more than that. And that's a big part of it, but it's more than that. And I was thinking about this the other day and how I wanted to get better at making the stuff I already know and how that'll eventually spill over into me making other things that are better. And not that are better, that'll spill over into me making other things and me getting better at cooking overall. Because what I was thinking about was that I think that with a burger, and actually me and Derek had actually watched this YouTube video on how, quote unquote, to make the perfect burger. I think the chef's name was Matty Matheson. And he shows it. I'm kind of basing this off of his philosophy. And the perfect burger should be sort of simple. And there shouldn't be a lot of seasoning on it. The bun should be really soft. Just know how to work with what you have. And it takes a lot more than just toasting a bun. You need to know what to toast the bun with. It takes a lot more than seasoning a hamburger. You need to know what to season the burger with, what ingredients to put on it, how to chop it, what kind of cheese to put on, etc., etc., etc. Now, Matty Matheson's philosophy on cheese, for example, let's take it real slow. His thing on cheese is that you're supposed to steam the cheese when you make the burger. Now, you could do this inside of and this is a way a lot of people don't really make burgers anymore, but inside of a cast iron pan. Most people grill them. My dad grills burgers. Nothing wrong with it. But there are other ways to make a burger. There are many ways to fry an egg. And with a burger, he sort of, in his YouTube video, he sort of shows that you can you could steam the cheese and it'll make it all gooey. Now, I learned right off the bat that I don't like that. So I didn't do it again the next time. But I think with my burgers, what I'm learning is that I want everything not perfect, but I want everything my way from the ground up. And what I mean by that is that with me being a produce worker, for instance, and this is like the first time in like a long time that I'll mention what I do for money, but I've been working in produce for 10 years. I think I have the opportunity and I have the privilege of being able to pick my ingredients right off the bat, right when they come off the truck. Now, there are earlier stages in which you could pick them. You could pick them from the farm and all that shit. That's too much trouble. I live too far away from any farms to do that. But I think I have a privilege in being able to not only pick my own lettuce, to be able to trim my own lettuce, and to be able to pick my lettuce and trim my lettuce as far as how I want to see it on my burger. And I think that I'm able to, like I did the other day, I picked my lettuce, I trimmed it. And what I mean by trimming is I butt it off the end. There's like a little circle part on the bottom of the lettuce, and it turns brown over a couple days. Now I trimmed that, I took off the outer leaves, and I brought home the finished product, and that went onto my burger. It was a light piece of lettuce. Many people pick the thicker heads of lettuce, and that's okay because they have families, they have things that they want to use that lettuce for over the course of a week. And that's okay. But me, this lettuce was specifically to make burgers. So I trimmed it. I didn't buy bagged lettuce because they have shredded lettuce that's bagged. I didn't buy that. I bought my own lettuce. I took it home. It cost me 99 cents. I trimmed it by hand. The next step, the tomato. I don't know any tomato growers, so I picked the best tomato that my department has available and that I would think that has the best flavor. It's not an heirloom tomato. Heirloom tomatoes are really good. If you haven't had an heirloom tomato, do so. So it was a really good tomato. Had a nice A tomato shouldn't be firm when you pick it. It should be kind of squishy, just slightly. Not really squishy, but just slightly. And I picked out a brown onion. And what else did I pick? I want to say that's it as far as vegetables. Now, I also picked out some cucumbers because I was going to pickle my own cucumbers to make pickles, but it was just going to be too much of a process for the time that I had, so I didn't do it. Next time, though, I'm going to make my own pickles. I also bought some Peppadew peppers. Now, Peppadew peppers are not really widely known, but if you ever come across them, they have them at some delis, and you could buy them, and they're only like $1 for like 5, which is not that bad. You could dice them up, which is what I did. I put them on the burger, and they're not spicy. They're sweet. They're very sweet. And let's see, I already had the cheese. Thin sliced cheese. It has to be thin with my burgers, because I think if you have it too heavy, it's going to be too melted, and it's going to get all over the place. It's going to overpower the burger. I didn't put any sauce when I actually let's go back half a step. When I seasoned the burger, and this is based off of Maddie Matheson's sort of video, I guess, I just used regular salt, actually Himalayan sea salt, and pepper. And I did that while it was on the cast iron pan. And cast iron I'll get into maybe in a future episode of the podcast, but I think it's really important to have a cast iron pan when you're cooking. Only because it's because of the way cast iron is, you build a lot of flavor into the pan. It's a really weird concept. But yeah, you do need a cast iron pan if you're going to cook regularly. And I think that I like having this cast iron pan because it actually allows me for some sort of consistency as far as heat goes, and as far as what I know what I'm going to get from it. So I have this cast iron pan that I bought from Goodwill for $5, which is a really good price for a cast iron pan. Usually you pay about $15 to $20 for a brand new one. I seasoned it myself, and like I said, I'll get into the whole thing of cast iron maybe in a future episode. But yeah, so I had salt and pepper on a cast iron pan, and I grilled it for about 7 I think I want to say like 7 to 8 minutes on each side, which a lot of people will say is too long. But I was using chuck roast for this, and the thing with chuck roast, like with Maddie Matheson's idea, is that there's a lot more fat, good fat in it, and when you're cooking it, it's still heating the meat, and this is something I'm still kind of learning. It's still heating the meat, but that fat is what's heating up, and that's what's making the burger hot. So as opposed to the actual meat getting burnt and crispy, you're actually just kind of heating up the fat, and it's giving it a lot of flavor as you're cooking it. Now you have to get you have to get it ground up when you go to your butcher, so it's actually worth going to the butcher instead of just buying the frozen patties. This is a very important step, so if you've made it this far, this is kind of the secret to making the best burger that's hand-packed by your own bare hands that your mother and father birthed. This is the most important step. Go to your butcher, ask them to ground up some chuck, and just have them ground up one of those big fat Fred Flintstone looking patties, and it'll give you about 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds to 3 pounds, and it'll last you several sessions, and you can freeze that. You can freeze that and save that for a later day. It comes out really good. So that's what I did. I grilled it for I put it on the pan for about 7 to 8 minutes on each side, and it came out just under well done. Just under well done. And it was perfect, because I normally don't like my burgers well done. I like them medium well. I actually like them medium. They end up coming out medium well if they're still cooking, but it came out well done this last time I made it. And the piece de la résistance was my garlic aioli sauce. Now, my garlic aioli sauce I actually just Googled how to make garlic aioli. And this is really important because I like sauce on a burger. Maddie Matheson didn't put any sauce on the burger, but I like sauce on a burger. And I think with garlic aioli, as opposed to having like In-N-Out's secret sauce or any secret sauce from any restaurant, garlic aioli is really nice because you get a lot of flavor from the garlic. Like a lot. It's mostly mayonnaise, but a lot of people put mayonnaise on a burger anyways, which is kind of boring, and it just tastes like mayonnaise. It just tastes like mayonnaise on a patty. Patty on a pickle with my mayonnaise, if you've ever watched Doug. But it just tastes like mayonnaise. So I think with garlic aioli, I think that's the key. It's like, oh man, it's just so good. And I've been making it consistently, and it just turns your burger up by 10. Just so much flavor. And just look it up online, learn how to make it. It's really fast. You'll make it in 5 minutes. Worth every second that you spend making it. So I just kind of slathered it on there. I didn't put a lot, just put a little thin layer of it on there just for flavor. And as far as buns goes, you have it's really hard to get good buns. At least in Victorville. So I think the medium between having a really good brioche bun, or just a regular McDonald's sesame seed bun, is a potato bun. And a lot of people don't know that. If you get potato buns, they're actually really soft, and you could toast them. Just put a little thin layer of butter on them, toast it, and just put it between your patty, just sandwich it in between your patty. And again, garlic aioli, potato bun. If you can remember these things, you'll be set. And I think that was the importance of me making a burger, just sort of building it from the ground up and getting better over time. Because this time, the new thing, I actually did that the last time. Everything I just told you I did the last time. The new thing for me to do this time was not make my own ketchup, but sort of dope up my own ketchup. Me and Derek had been sort of obsessed with this idea that we got from Joey Diaz on the Church of What's Happening Now, is just doping up everyday food. And I sort of doped up some regular Heinz ketchup. I put in some chipotle peppers with adobo sauce. And I made some chipotle ketchup. And just instead of having regular ass ketchup with some French fries, I had some spicy ketchup, and it just was delicious. I could have ate that shit all night. And I love French fries. So it was amazing. But yeah, I just really wanted to go the extra mile with this burger. I made one for Karina. She loved it. And like I said, just as far as me cooking, I want to have everything from the appetizer all the way to the dessert. And I don't have too many good appetizers right now, aside from me just kind of picking the little foods that I'm cutting up and everything and eating it. I really want a good appetizer. And as far as desserts goes, I'm toying with a few things, ice creams, and this last time, which I fucked up. I fucked up because I made this at Karina's house, and I forgot my dessert at home at my parents' house, and it was just these little simple peanut butter sandwiches in between a graham cracker that were frozen for a few hours. I sort of got the idea from, I don't know if you've ever had, I'm going to wrap up the podcast right now, but I don't know if you've ever had in high school, you used to be able to get them from the lunch a la carte line, and there were these little frozen peanut butter sandwiches that came on, the graham cracker was kind of soft for whatever reason, and they were just good. They were just little tasty little snacks, and you can't buy them anywhere. You can only make them. So it was supposed to be paired with the goddamn burger, and I fucked up and I left it at home. And it would have made everything just out of the park. Out of the park. But now that I'm getting down everything, my technique, how to control temperatures, I can work on my presentation, which, I sent a picture to Derek. He gave me a B-, that little jerk. And so now I can work on my presentation. Now that I feel like I've gotten the idea down of how to control everything and chop everything and make everything good and have everything ready at the same time, I can get better at that and work on my presentation. So that's my cooking experience for this week. If you made it this far, thank you. Like, I'm trying to do these every week again. And I'm sticking to it. The Danger Tapes presents the 200ths, a Danger Tapes Odyssey. And I know I said that twice, but that's not how it's supposed to be. So, again, if you've made it this far, thank you guys for listening. Follow me on Instagram. I've been trying to keep up with their bootleg Snapchat feature every day. Been trying to post everything. It's kind of cool that I think it posts things that I think are cool every day. And I don't know, it's just fun. I don't really care about Snapchat. I don't really give a shit who copied who. I don't know, it's just fun for me to do on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram, DevRamos_ or @TheDangerTapes. Twitter @TheDangerTapes. If you can find me on Facebook, follow me on there. All right, thank you guys for listening, and have a great week. I'll be back next week with episode 204 after Pismo Beach.